Here. All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming today. We're excited to do this, even as we're in quite a transition period here in the markets and so forth. But just to touch on what we're going to do here today. First session here, just a quick hour and 15 minutes, talk about what's happening at Lighthouse here. There's some things we're doing that'll improve how we help you market, and maybe some things that just as you think about growing your own operation and so forth. Market outlook, obligatory for a meeting like this. We're going to just talk through what is our longer term fundamental outlook right now, and then these price benchmarking results. It's year 2 of benchmarking all of the sales that our clients do and just what we can learn from that data as far as what are these top 20% versus bottom 20%. I think a lot of you are here to hear Christian speak after our break here. He's going to give a keynote speech a lot of people are very excited about, and then we're going to conclude with our grower panel as we have Christian and a couple other growers just fielding questions about how they're growing their operation moving forward. Social and dinner, of course, after that. So that's what we're going to do today. Just getting started here. So we're a little over 8 years old now at Lighthouse, and still feels like a new company, but far enough in that people from the outside looking in start to ask questions. I've actually been asked a few times here just in the last year and a half about, what's this combination of just hard work and luck, to get to this point, to make it to this point. And I don't have an answer or have even really thought much about that. We've sure worked plenty of hard and had plenty of bad luck and plenty of good luck. But the one thing I do know is you move from just being someone with an idea to having a business like this. It's all about the people you're surrounded with, almost exclusively. If you look at the trajectory of this, it's the people you work with, the people you work alongside, and so forth. So just a couple thank yous here to that end as we get up and rolling on the discussion here. This is the Lighthouse team. Won't introduce them all individually here, but if you're wearing a Lighthouse polo, if you want to stand or hold your hand up or whatnot, this is the team that works for you guys. We're really proud of this too. All of these people, when you combine it together, we have an incredible amount of just experience, human capital going into giving you the best product every day. You'll notice all these names are the same every year. All we do is add more names, but the people that were here last year are here this year and the same the year before. We are making a huge human capital investment into helping you market grain better. It's invaluable having just the same people working harder every year to do this. So just a huge thank you myself to the Lighthouse team. This is the only thing we know for certain that's a part of our success is this team that we've surrounded ourselves with. I could do thank yous all day, but I get annoyed when people do that when I'm at meetings. So I have just a couple other ones that I want to get to. And Cornerstone Bank, we've been with Cornerstone since George Sinner brought us a solution when no one else would. There is quite literally no Lighthouse without Cornerstone. He brought the original lending that helped us secure our grain license and the thing we needed to do. And that relationship has continued to evolve and flourish as our business has grown even further. Same thought here as it relates to a banker. I don't know what, interest rates, these things, I don't think a lot about them. I would share an anecdote though. Cornerstone's also my personal banker, and I still feed quite a bit of cattle. And Halloween of this year had this just weird thing happen where through a miscommunication between me and a buyer, I was actually set to process the payment for these cattle twice, double process. And I didn't even want to pay for them once. Like, this cattle market is high enough, but that cannot happen. So it's 8 o'clock Halloween night, and I called Scott, who leads our relationship now, answered immediately, got other high-level members of Cornerstone involved. We got the solution figured out immediately on our side, and I talked to the order buyer then and said, hey, I think we're good to go here. And he said, yeah, no, I see what happened too, and we're good on my end too, but we won't be able to get it squared away until tomorrow because I can't get a hold of my banker. And so I think that's what I think of when I think of Cornerstone, just as far as just they've been right here for what we need, investing and knowing our business and growing with us. So we're really proud to be a part of Cornerstone. There's a bunch of Cornerstone team members here. Scott, you're here somewhere. I talked to you if you want to. Yeah, right there. Scott also has one of the best tailgating spots in all of NDSU football, so that's worth something too. So, on the same theme, last one here, and then these guys have a little bit to share with you too here. Farmer's Choice. Steve Knorr has been a good friend and someone who I've watched just develop a tremendously innovative business here at Farmer's Choice. Some of you rode on their NDSU tour bus down here. That was a nice touch for our meeting, and we're really appreciative of giving a chance to do that, and we're really appreciative of all the collaboration between Lighthouse and Farmer's Choice. And Farmer's Choice has an opportunity now that we're just in the early stages of, tied to what we see as the next phase in this low carbon market and lowering the carbon intensity of your grain, and some real tangible opportunities in front of us. So Steve, if you and your team want to just share here a little bit about, there'll be more coming on this, but what you have going right now. So.
Well, thanks, Dave, and you've been a big part of our operation and my operation on my farm. Obviously, I use Dave as a merchandiser, and I think I'm in the top 20%. Maybe I'm in the bottom 20%.
Everybody here's in the top 20%.
So thanks, Dave, for the opportunity. But yes, we're excited to bring about an opportunity, and I'm a corn farmer, and right now there's a plausible pathway for me to monetize my bushel of corn, and we call that through this Section 45Z, and that was passed in the Inflation Reduction Act. It'll start in 2025, 26, and 27 as sunsets. So the grain we produce in 2024 will actually be crushed in 25, and there's an opportunity for us, and we want to work, we actually partnered with Continuum Ag, which is a group out of Iowa, and these are farmers, and they had forward thinking and said, hey, someday there'll be a pathway to monetize low carbon grain. And that's what they've put together, and we've got the software now that's based on this GREET model system that basically will determine a carbon intensity score for the bushel of grain I produce on my farm. And I'll pass it off to Jaden here, but the big things we want to take away today is to explain to you there's an opportunity coming. We'd like to create visibility and then farmer control. It's our data. We want to control that data. And yes, we'd like to monetize that because that's going to help me on my farm, especially with the speeches probably coming on the low market dollars here coming from my bushel of grain. So I'm going to pass it off to Jaden real quick here.
All right. Yeah. Just kind of go off of this with Steve. The 45Z tax credit is based off of your bushel, not off of your soil carbon sequestration. So 45Z puts a value on your carbon by 29.1. Anything below that, we're going to give you a value of 5.4 cents per bushel under 29.1. That'll be, like it's in the early stages like we had talked. That'll be going to the ethanol plants, Blue Flint, Tharaldson, Red Trail. It's all kind of in the infancy stage. So basically you are going to release some of your data to topsoil, which would be the Continuum Ag. We would give you a score. Your score will show you your value, and then you'd get a premium from the ethanol plants. Just to make this short and simple, if you guys want to talk about this a little bit more after this, I'm going to be here. The team's going to be here. We can go over it. Like I said, it's in the infancy stage, so there's a lot we still have to learn and go through as well, but this is a good way for everybody to get a premium on their grain, especially with commodities being low. So.
Yeah, and lastly, obviously, the takeaway is get in front of this. Don't wait. Like I say, this opportunity is going to start with the production we have in 2024. So we're getting in front of it. We want to help you guys look at the value proposition it's going to bring. Yes, there's some things we're working out with the biorefineries, but at the end of the day, we believe we'll get this over the finish line, and it's significant. It was basically about a $249 value per acre on my farm. So very significant. We'd love to have that conversation, and thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Jade. Thanks you guys for all you do, and then for bringing this opportunity in. Here at Lighthouse, we'll sure keep everyone aware of as that develops further, but this does look to us to be like a tremendous, almost a no-brainer to get a CI score for your corn and be ready for what happens going forward. So just quickly to talk about Lighthouse, where we've been, where we're at now, and what we're up to. I think the biggest thing on where we've been at Lighthouse, so the first, phase of any company, kind of phase one, is just trying to grow the company to the point where it can function, to where you can justify having team members in each of your key roles, having responsibilities, singularly focused, not one or two or three people doing everything. And we had cleared that hurdle several years ago. And in the intervening time, starting about 3 years ago, the big focus on at Lighthouse have been how do we get better at how we analyze, how quickly we analyze, how unemotionally we analyze, and how we communicate that analysis to our clients. If you look at how our business model works, we stand to gain or lose as much as you do on just for marketing decisions, things of that nature. So the big focus has been our price signal algorithms over the last 3 years. We've moved into our third version of them as a way to just take everything that's going on in the markets and just distill them into one singular output. That's helped us immensely, instead of coming in with just this fractured approach where you look at this every day and you read this and saw this on Twitter. No, just this one thing here, our price signal charts, and then getting better at them. That had been a big focus up until this last year, up until 2023. And as we got into 2023, we've started to embrace some pretty big changes in process automation, and starting to integrate AI assist technology into what we're doing on top of this. And it has some pretty exciting things. So where we're at today at Lighthouse, we crossed $1 billion in revenue in late 2023. So cumulative revenue since we started the company, we crossed $1 billion and about 160 million bushel marketed. In calendar year 2023, we marketed about 40 million bushel of grain. Huge administrative burden with doing that and doing it successfully. And we have the same challenge that you have on your farm. Your farm operators, you have this super high level strategy obligation, thinking about what to do, how to do it, and then you have this enormous operational burden. And the same thing occurs at Lighthouse. So we've had a few things we've been working on to make the business operate even more efficiently. Version 3 of our algos launched in early January this year. They were quite successful through 23. 100% cell signals on the highs this summer. Cell signals on every major wheat high, on every major soybean high. This recent soybean rally, we had cell signals, quite successful there. We've fully automated our ticket entry. So if you think about Lighthouse, you haul grain, or we haul grain for you to this destination, and there's a scale ticket, and that has to make its way from that destination back through our software. That all happens automatically now. It's not manual entry of 40,000 scale tickets every year. It's done automatically. We've gotten our communications now to where we can instantly, with one click of a button, issue alerts and updates as it relates to recommendations or market changes or things of that nature. The other thing that's just worth noting, and it's just one bullet point in this presentation, but we did launch a fully automated trading system June 7th of last year. This is adjacent to what we're doing for you guys, but it's built off the same technology, but a short-term trading strategy that operates automatically around the clock. It's trading right now as we speak. We're pretty proud of that milestone, not just to have the technical trade infrastructure to be able to do that, but then just the back office infrastructure, just to be able to not only take an idea that works in trading, but to fully automate it. And if you think about the world of automated trading systems and high frequency trading, that's a bunch of hedge funds in New York and Chicago, and it's Lighthouse Commodities here in Bismarck. And it's been extremely successful for us and is a big part of our future. And I think it speaks to just our continuous, just relentless commitment to getting better at what it is we do for you guys. So that's what we're up to this year. So here's what's next, and here's what's interesting. And I think some of this is hopefully gets you thinking about stuff on your own farm too, just the way you're doing things on your own farm. So where we're at next is a couple of main big initiatives here in 2024. Automated contract entry and management, and then AI-assisted transcribing of call logs, summarizing and preparing action items. So if we think about contract entry, the way the flow works at Lighthouse right now, you and I talk or text or somehow communicate to memorialize a deal. We write it up in our enterprise software. We email that out. It gets sent out for another person. We email that internally. Another person has to email it out through our document signing. We have to go and enter it into GrainBridge. We have to do all of those steps manually. But by the end of this year, that will all be automatically done. That every step of that process will be fully automated to where we agree to something, everything else just happens automatically. And in parallel to that is the AI-assisted call log. So just off-the-shelf technology right now can take any call and just instantly transcribe it. And that's not so novel. But what we also have is we have probably 25,000 hours worth of archived grain marketing phone calls that you can use to train a large language AI model on what to look for in these calls and actually help summarize for us, okay, in this hectic day here, rather than me taking 20 minutes to write up the notes, take all these key information and whatnot, our AI-assisted technology will do that automatically. Here's a summary of this call. Here's the takeaways, what needs to happen next. So that's where we're at. We're really embracing that technology. I think there's a ton of opportunity for you on the farm when you think about basically anything you're doing that involves data entry, that involves interacting with the computer in any way, that involves any sort of that on the farm or anything is ripe for process automation, for incorporating AI-assisted technology, doing all that stuff to take time off your plate. If you look at, on our end, how it matters to you or why you should care is if you think about all of this workload that we're shifting off of our human capital, off of our incredibly valuable team, that is that much more time and effort that's going into better hedging, better analysis, more market options, more cheaper freight to move grain, all of the revenue produced, all the things that have impact your bottom line and impact our bottom line. These investments that we're making for automation, for AI assist, et cetera, are going to make us 100 times faster than what we are right now. Right now, most of our day at Lighthouse is not spent on the activities that move the bottom line. It's spent on executing the business. And it's the same on the farm. And this is what, when you hear all of the rhetoric about how AI is changing things, is it bad, is it good, are we all going to lose our jobs, is it going to be terrible? This is the real opportunity that's in front of us right now. You can literally remove every aspect of your life that is just basic data entry, that is just basic computer. It can just be gone. Like you can automate all of that away and so forth. And so that's where our focus is. And I think there's real opportunity on the farm here too. And we replace all that time with efforts at getting better at how we run our business, better recommendations, better everything that we do for all of you guys. So that's our big focus here in the upcoming year and indefinitely at Lighthouse. And we just wanted to share a bit about, we've never done that at one of these meetings. This is our 5th meeting and thought it's okay just to talk a little bit about, we're not just showing up at work every day and doing the same thing. 2023 was our smallest year for acres for new clients that we've ever had by a wide margin as a company. Our growth at Lighthouse is not, find another farm and do exactly the same thing that we've been doing since 8 years ago. Our growth is getting better at this, helping our core farms grow. And we actually, the way our business is and the size it is, we have significantly more at stake to market our existing grain better than we do to add any certain number of new clients. So that's where our focus is when we talk about growing Lighthouse, just this massive time and energy investment into incorporating AI and process automation. So